Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's December the 15th, 2023, which means you've only got 10 days till Christmas. I don't know if you're ready or not, if you've done your holiday baking, if you bought your presents, cleaned your house, whatever you need to do before the holidays begin. It's going to be a good weekend here, though. One, my son is away at a basketball tournament, so I wish him well at that. I'm not able to go because I work on Sundays. But two, my daughter arrives home from university this weekend, so we're excited to have her back. And then on Sunday, we will be getting our Christmas tree and starting the decorations. And yeah, it will start to feel like Christmas when we have everybody home again and the tree goes up, the decorations are out there. Now, what I want to do is it's Friday, so we have a bunch of mail to go through. I would say we're going to start with the official post-crossing mail, but I don't have any official post-crossing mail this week, which is really strange not to get a single item in. But some people have been having difficulties with letters arriving in time. I know I have a new friend who says she sent me something and it's been a little while. It hasn't arrived here yet, so we're just going to hope that it does get here eventually. And I have faith in the mail system that if it says it's going to get here, it's going to get here. Whether it arrives in 1 week or 2 months, it will arrive and I'll be happy when it does. So let's get into this week's mail that showed up. It's all going to be friend mail, swaps, that sort of stuff, and we'll see what we have. So let's get into it. The very first one I have is this envelope here. And it's not addressed to me, it's addressed to Polo, care of That Dad Guy. So I did open it to see what was going on. This comes from Marcia in British Columbia, and she designed this really cute Polo Christmas card. And I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm sure Polo will enjoy it too. It says, "Merry Christmas, Polo, and may Santa bring you a nice little treat." Marcia, how thoughtful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I know Polo will appreciate it in his own special way too. So, yeah, the next card I have is this one here. It comes from Honduras. This is the first card I've ever gotten from Honduras, and Ramon reached out to me and asked if we would do a direct swap, and I thought, yeah, that'd be great. He says he's been doing post-crossing for a year now, and it's one of the best things that has ever happened to him. You are going to see some really cool cards and beautiful stamps like this one here. I love that stamp. And yeah, there's some amazing people in post-crossing. So Ramon, thank you so much for doing the direct swap with me, and reach out if you want to do more. I'm happy to get postcards from Honduras. The same thing happened with this one here too. This one comes from Artem, and he's in the Ukraine. So we're not going to forget what's going on in Ukraine right now. And thank you to Artem. I get a chance to talk about it. Look at these beautiful stamps. Lovely color. And keep up the good fight. Be safe. And hopefully peace will shine through soon. Yeah, I don't get to talk about Ukraine nearly as much as I would like. And I don't know, there's been a drought of cards coming in from there, but I'm going to still talk about it. And like my friend Jilly, we are both big supporters of seeing peace there happening quickly. All right, the next card I have comes from Vera, and she's in Germany, and this is from Stuttgart. And she said this is the town where her son was born. Now, I thought it was really funny. Vera came onto one of my lives, and I mean live streams, and she was having herring salad, and I didn't know what it was, and so she explained it to me. Then she sent me a recipe about it, but on the back for this meetup, she put Vera herring salad, so I knew exactly who it was. I did it from the Vera anyways, but look at all the people that were at the meetup. So that's great, and all the information card about Stuttgart. So thank you so much, Vera, for that card. Now, the next one I have comes from our friend Smokey, and it is one of his funny Christmas cards that he sent off saying, well, this is gonna be a long night when you've got your reindeers going in different directions and what's coming up the middle. Well, thank you so much, Smokey. There are some of the new snow globe stamps that came out, and one of the little bit older stamps. Got it nicely decorated, and there's his satchel. What am I trying to say? His moniker, satchel. Yeah. So thank you, Smokey, for the Christmas card, and Merry Christmas to you as well. Now, the next card I have comes from my friend Renee, and she was off on vacation with her son, and they said had a great time, and she sent me this card of Pirate's Booty. Blackbeard was eventually tracked down in Oracoke Inlet in North Carolina by the Royal Navy and killed in a brief but bloody battle in November 22nd, 1718. So those of you who know of Blackbeard, remember the Unicorn Gang, not Blackbeard, but Renee, and the Forever Stamp. So thank you, Renee, for that and from your travels. She wasn't done though. She did send off another card in an envelope. This one here with the Forever Stamp, and inside was a beautiful Christmas card that I can only imagine that she's created. Very, very cool. And inside, she sent me a Christmas decoration, which I'll be able to put on my Christmas tree, hopefully on Sunday. So thank you so much for the greeting card and the beautiful decoration, Renee. I will put it on the tree and it will sparkle nicely. Now, the next card I have comes from, let me see here. It comes from Mel in Canada, in Quebec, and she sent me a Christmas card as well, and she writes in French, hope you had a great year. I hope you had lots of mail, and you're getting ready to put up your beautiful Christmas tree. I am. It's going up very soon. We'll chop it down on Sunday. And then she says how much she likes it, and she talks about she's not direct swapping enough because there are enough cards going with post crossing, and I get that. It gets really expensive to send out all the direct swaps that we want to do, but I appreciate that she sent me a Christmas card and was able to keep in contact. What was really interesting about this, Mel, is that you sent a card via official post crossing to somebody else I know in the States, and they reached out and said, I got a card from Canada. And I said, where in Canada? And they said, where? And I said, was it? And it was. So very cool. Thank you. The next card I have comes from Jane in South Carolina. And a joy to the world to everyone there. So thank you so much. And did I notice, I can't remember if I showed Mel's stamp. There is the winter stamp that was designed by a local woman here, Jocelyn. So a very talented woman to do all the, very talented person to create these stamps. So hopefully she creates many more. So Jane sent this card, and she said that she is gonna have ham as part of her dinner. Normally we have ham as well because my father doesn't like turkey, so it's normally on the table. Not sure if it will be this year though, we will see. I found some scratch and sniff stinky stickers. Do you guys remember these? Did you have these? These ones here, you can scratch them and they smell like ham. Well, this one smells like ham, but they could smell like whatever the sticker happens to be, a pineapple, an orange slice. When I was younger, I did sticker collecting, and we put them in an album, and they had all sorts of these scratch and sniff stickers. So I'm glad that she did that as well. She says, I wonder if it'll still smell by the time it reaches Moncton. It does, and it smells very hammy. And there are the stamps. So thank you, Jane from South Carolina. The next card I have comes from Ashley in Tennessee. We have another Christmas, Father Christmas. It doesn't look like our traditional Santa Claus here, but you get the idea. It's Santa Claus. And she says, do you know the song, I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas? I do know that song. I can't play it right now because I might get copyright infringement. If you don't know that song, you should look it up. But she said the Oklahoma Zoo raised money and bought her a hippo, which was donated to the zoo in her name. Matilda was the name of the singer, and she was 10 years old. So there's some facts for you about the All I Want for Christmas is a Hippopotamus. And as I know, hippopotamuses are quite violent. They are strong, they are aggressive, they can snap a crocodile in half with their jaws. So I think I'm going to stick with my 2 front teeth for Christmas rather than a hippopotamus. But very cool of the Oklahoma Zoo to raise money and buy a hippopotamus for the zoo in Matilda's name. Now, my next card, it comes from Erin, and she's in Colorado. This made me laugh. It says, I believe I can fly. Qui rêve de s'envoler. So there you have cows that are dreaming of flying, and if they can dream it, I guess they can do it. Well, maybe they can, or at least they'll have good dreams. There are the stamps, the beautifully decorated card by Erin, and happy holidays. Thank you so much for that. Oh yes, the next card comes from Isabel, and she's in Chile. So although Christmas here, we think of white Christmases and snow, but if you're in Chile, Christmas happens in the middle of summer. So here is her summer Christmas Santa with the tree and the cat on the top. And so I really appreciate that. But look at the stamps. Feliz Navidad. Beautiful Christmas stamps. You're seeing Christmas in a different way. You know, gifts being delivered on a bicycle, you wouldn't do that in the winter here. Santa with his special vehicle delivering the presents with Rudolph there. You can see him with his shiny nose. So, and Isabel designed this card. She did a fantastic job. She wasn't done though. She also sent me this card here. And this card, she says, it was mailed the 7th of November, and she says, from October 20th to November the 5th, her country hosted the Pan American Games. It was a lot of fun, and the mascot, Fiu, was a success. November 17th will start the Pan American Games, so the fun and the excitement will continue. Some Canadian athletes were very popular here because they shared funny content on their social media. It's not like Canadians to be funny, is it? I don't know. But thank you so much for that. And the really cool stamp that matches the card in some way. So I'm glad that the games were such a success. Now my next card comes from Kathy in Ontario. This one also made me laugh. You can see he's a little bit a mole, maybe with nearsighted, and he was thinking his friend who was decorating the tree was the tree, plugs it in, and he's all lit up. And there on the back, we've got some older stamps as well for the season. So thank you so much for that, Kathy. And my next card comes from, it's a whole bunch of people it comes from. This one comes from Len, who's Phoenix Star, Karina, who is Karina 0405, and Sabine, who is Aria B. They were all on my live stream one time, and we were talking about the herring salad. Well, the whole family's into it. They had green sauce, and I had no idea what green sauce was, so they sent me this recipe card, and it says that this is the Frankfurt green sauce, traditionally eaten in the spring, but tastes good all year round. The original recipe includes all of the 7 listed herbs, which can be found in the region here. So greetings from Germany. And hi, YouTube, because I was going to share it on YouTube. So there, if you want Frankfurt green sauce, there's the recipe for it. Here are the stamps. And I like this envelope one. Really nice. So I appreciate you guys, one, joining the lives when I do them, but also sending the card on too. So now I know what the recipe for green sauce is. So thank you so much to all you guys. And the next card I have comes from the Netherlands. It is another Christmas card. This one comes from Billy, and she says, warm greetings from the Netherlands. And then she talks about St. Nicholas is a big Dutch tradition. We celebrate it on the 5th of December. It's the big deal for kids. They get their presents on this day, not on Christmas. So St. Nicholas Day on December the 5th, which has come and gone. So all the children in the Netherlands have already received their presents. So there, did you know? Now you do. All right, the next one, in that part of the world anyways. So this one comes from Lieve in Belgium, and another one of these cards that just made me laugh. Ever had it raining cats and dogs? Well, here you can see it's raining cats and dogs. And she says this is kind of indicative of the weather they've been having. Weather's always been a bit bizarre and surrealistic. He said these are funny cards and shows their autumn weather. So have you ever heard of incognito cards? That's what this is, an incognito card. Right there. And there are the amazing stamps. Huge. I really like this one here with the postal vehicle on it too. So yeah. So thank you, Lee, for that. Really appreciate it. Oh yes, this next card comes from Zach in Illinois. Another one of these cards that he's designed. Got mangled a little bit in the post coming over here, but that's all right. And he says these drawings were done by the daughter of a postcrosser, and her Instagram is starfruit.tart. Very strange Instagram name, but so yeah, there is the forever stamp. Thank you, Zach. Oh yeah, this next card comes from Ross. He was away in Ohio, so he has this bunch of different things that you can do in Ohio, in Columbus. So it was a rainy day there, so didn't actually see any of these while he was there on work. There's the forever stamp. Ross wasn't done. He also sent me this one here from the Ohio Stadium called The Shoe. It cost $1.34 million to build in 1921. The playing surface is actually called Safe Light Field, although the name of the stadium didn't change. It's still The Shoe. So if you're into college football in Ohio State, you probably know that stadium quite well. This next envelope comes from Media in Finland. Beautiful stamps there. And inside, she went to a post-crossing meetup. This one here said 17 people showed up for the meetup. And here on the back, you can see all the participants. She also sent this beautiful Christmas card, postcard, very vintage looking. So here are the Christmas wishes in Swedish. There you go. So Media wasn't done. Another envelope showed up. This one with a beautiful Christmas stamp on it. You can see them peeking around the corner at the Christmas tree. Inside this one, she recently went here to this castle in this town and visited. And while she was there, she saw a few museums, and she also sent this card. I really like these sauna cards she's been sending. These two ladies heading off to the sauna on a fall day. You can see the leaves are all blowing off the tree. Really nice. And I like the little gnome sticker she put on the envelope. And you would think, well, that was a great week. Well, no, she sent another one that made it in. We have one here from Estonia on her travels. And in it, we have this beautiful lighthouse, which she says she'd like to go visit in the summer sometime. A little bit more difficult to get there though, apparently. And then we have some carolers doing their thing. Looks like it might be a little rainy, not snowy though. And this one here of the Bank of Finland Museum. Oh, yeah. So lots of nice cards there. So thank you, Media, for all those. The next one I have is this one here. It's an envelope I got from my friend Stephen in Australia. You can see Christmas Island stamps and Australia Christmas stamps, and we've got some stuff inside. We're gonna save that though for another video. Hopefully I'm gonna get time early next week and be able to show you the contents of some of the stamps. So thank you, Stephen. This next one, this was a surprise too. This comes from Peter in Wisconsin. There's the stamp, and the stamp here as well. And this is someone through Post Crossing that I sent a message to. I pulled their address. They said they were into stamps, so I sent them some stamps. And then he was generous enough to send me some stamps back. So we're gonna show you that in another video as well. And then Lamont and Violet in Saskatchewan sent me this envelope. You can see some beautiful stamps on there and a full souvenir sheet one. I really like this. I hadn't seen this one before, from the Vancouver Games. And inside, he sent me a nice letter, and he sent me a bag of vintage postcards, which I haven't opened yet, so I haven't seen them. So let's open up this and see what it's all about. Oh, so we have the musical ride, the Royal Canadian Musical Ride, the Mounties. This is originated in 1873 as the Northwest Mounted Police. They were conferred with the title of Royal in 1904 in recognition of their exceptional record. In 1920, the force was amalgamated with the Dominion Police, and the name was changed to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and the jurisdiction of the force was extended from the entire Dominion. And I did a video on that. This year was the 150th anniversary stamp that came out for that. I did a video on that. West Red Lily postcard. The Prairie Provinces. So we've got some grain elevators and some things you might see if you were going along the Prairie Provinces. A Prairie Sunset. They always say the prairies are so flat you can see your dog run away for days, but look how beautiful that is. Some more grain elevators. A nice winter scene. That's vintage card. One of Saskatchewan. So if you're ever wondered where Lamont and Violet were from, here is a couple of views you might see in Saskatchewan, which is also one of the Prairie Provinces. In case you hadn't got that already. Musical ride again. Saskatoon. These next cards I am not going to show you right now. And there's a reason for that, because there's something else he sent me. He sent me this book called Reminiscent. And it's from 1992. It says, the magazine that brings you back to the good old days. So this magazine cost $3.95 at the time. Now I don't think anybody even buy magazines for the most part. But inside of it, it has things like, remember the games we used to play? You have a stick and a hoop, or just going out on the pond and skating. There are places you may want to retire, the best places in the world to retire. This was talking about Savannah. And then memories in there. All sorts of wonderful stories in here too. There is one specific story I think we're going to talk about in the future. That's why I'm holding off those other cards, because I thought it was super interesting. And he bookmarked it just for that reason. But there's other things that are in here too. The lighthearted limericks keep pouring in. There once was an angler from Bunker who thought that he'd go catch a lunker. He got an old boat, he set it afloat, then he hit a big rock and he sunk her. So we've got things like that that are in here. And if you're wondering what a lunker is, we're going to talk about that in the future too. So this is all a little bit of a tease. The day at the circus. There are some jokes in here too. But the part that really stuck out, my most memorable meal. Look at all the recipe cards in here that tell you. Aunt Edith's baked pancake, strawberry muffins, night before casserole, fresh fruit bowl. I think most people know how to make a fruit bowl. Get a bunch of fruit, put it in a bowl. You've got a fruit bowl. But on the back, they have memories. And that's what I really liked about it. So let's look at the fruit bowl. It says, the crowning glory of my aunt's breakfast table was this delightful bowl of fresh fruit, not flutes. The glorious colors provided the perfect accent to her antique dish and white linen tablecloth. Bite-sized pieces of melon were prepared the night before, slightly sweetened with corn syrup and chilled in an ice box. The other fruits were added just prior to serving, making the dish a light, colorful complement to our breakfast. The short memory. I remember my grandmother's house and all the red raspberry bushes that ran halfway around it. I always had to fight mosquitoes and thorns to get at those berries. In the center of her yard was an old Dempster's pump with a tin cup hanging from it. To this day, I've never had a better drink of ice-cold wall water than from that old tin cup. By Donald Askern from Michigan. So on the back of all these recipes are memories of these people and what these dishes mean to them. There's another one here called Old Fashioned Jam Cake that looks really good. So there might be some things we have to try in here. Grandkids' favorite French toast recipe. Yeah, so a bunch of different things in here. School day memories in here. Hobbies that help the heart beat, from people that are making Raggedy Ann dolls to wood carvings to miniature painting. My wife's grandfather used to do miniature painting, so yeah, it's in there. And there's some jokes in here too. Yeah, so many good things. And also here, I'm a little lonely. There's a whole section of personal ads in here too. I'm a wife and a grandmother who wishes to correspond and share generational interests with someone of Yugoslavian descent. My ethnic roots are Croatian, Slovenian, Serbian, and Hungarian. And then gives her name and her address. Even in 1992, I think I'd be hesitant about putting my actual address in a magazine for the world to see. I know on YouTube, lots of people put their address out there. And then some of us have created postal boxes too for that. But what a fantastic magazine. And there's going to be lots of great things in there, I think, to share. But one particular article we are going to talk about, and there are some corresponding postcards that go with it. It is very much on brand and on theme, so happy to do so. Now, this next card comes from quarantine in France, and it got chewed by a shark, I guess, on the way over from France. So, unfortunately, it got damaged, but fortunately, I don't think the contents were lost. There's some really nice stamps on there. Because it's a stamp-related envelope, this one, we're going to hold that off too. So there are 3 envelopes there to wait. Now, the last card also comes from quarantine, and it's this one here. Beautiful gates. He's sent pictures of his town before, and this is one of the images that's always there. One of the older gates. Now, on the back, he has a series of stamps. He says, in almost all cultures, headgear is a major item of clothing. Fanciful, refined, or classic fit. It protects, it embellishes, it seduces, it motivates, it impresses, imposes on the eyes the professional status and function of a personality. Here are some of the models from the collection, and then it's in a museum in the chateau located in Chazelles-sur-Léon. There are the beautiful stamps of all the different headgear. And I know it was subtle, but you may have noticed that I wore a few different hats during this video. Yeah, it's a long build-up, and it's for my own amusement, but some of you get my humor, and some of you play along and wonder what's going on. Some of you probably have abandoned the video and never got to see this end and didn't know why I was doing it. This is why. It was about these stamps and the different headgear, but it's also about all the different roles that we wear, hats for, and I don't mean physical hats. Sometimes we put on the nursing hat, sometimes we put on the fatherly hat or the motherly hat, the parent hat, the sibling hat, the child's hat, the postal hat, the YouTuber's hat. I don't know. We all wear different hats and different roles we have to play, and we juggle those roles. So this time of year, it is very important that we remember our sanity, because a lot of us are juggling a lot of different things to try to make the holidays just perfect for your family, for your friends that are around, making sure your time is shared equally with everybody. Maybe you're home from university and you want to visit with your friends, but you also want to visit with your family. There's a juggle that has to happen. Maybe you're a parent and you want to make sure that your kids have all the right gifts, but it is really hard to afford some things right now and prepare nice meals and have the means for that. So you're out working as much as you can. So you're juggling there too. So I just want everybody to know that no matter what hat you're wearing and what struggles you're going through, maybe your country's at war and there's a struggle there as well too. Remember, there are people out there that are thinking about you, and just take a break, breathe. We'll all get through the holidays. There are going to be some fantastic memories that are made. All these hats that I've been wearing all have memories attached to them, whether they're of sports teams that I've enjoyed, whether they're of my work hats. This particular hat that says, "I love you, Daddy," was made by my children when they were very, very young. My wife was great at doing little crafty things, so she bought this hat, and she got them to draw on it. So we got dot marks depending on their ages. And although it's not a hat that I wear a lot, I still have it. I still save it. It means a lot to me, as do many of the other hats that I showed throughout this video. They all have some sort of meaning, whether it is a comfort meaning, whether it is a time maybe I went to an amusement park and there's a memory associated to that, whether it was a gift from a brother, whether it was a gift from a parent. Yeah, I just want you guys to take a minute, relax, think of the good things, put down all the things we're juggling for a minute, and look at all the blessings that you do have around you, wherever you are. So, let's talk about tomorrow real quick. Tomorrow is That Dad Guy Answers. We are going to go live again. I'm going to go live at 10 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time. So last week I did it at 9 a.m. I think it was still a little bit early for some, and we had people starting to join on near the end of the chat. So I think what I'm going to do is go from 10, and we will last until, they usually last about an hour because people start chit-chatting a lot and communicating, which is great. So you can either put your question for my last week's live, you can put it in there, and if you can't make the discussion, I'll answer it on the live, or if you can join me, ask me some questions, and that's how we're going to do That Dad Guy Answers tomorrow at 10 Atlantic Standard Time. So hopefully you guys can make it. As far as the rest of the weekend, we'll see. It's going to be busy, so have a magical week. What, follow? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?